यामी के अंदर कोयल है पैसिव एग्रेसिव फॉर्म में तो वो मतलब अगर आप कितने लेवल पे उसे जागृत कर सकते हैं then you see.
He does good mimicry himself. I don't know if anyone's told you, but he mimics really well. A common again love for food and especially that desi food. What all dishes he's introduced me from Gujarati cuisine. आपने आप कब्बन मस्का खाया? आपने वहाँ की वो इडली खाई? अरे so
he's a foodie.
So,
But Aditya, are you discovering new things about him?
He's just asking my
Right?
question
Right.
also. Yeah.
Because I know them. I know them as
that's inherently a good director watching the actor's back.
He knows what's coming next.
Pratik is not a selfish actor at all. In fact, there were so many times during the readings where Pratik would say, I mean, trust me, like a really good line, and Pratik was like, you know what, my character wouldn't say this. So he's not trying to usurp that line. He'll be like, this line would be better if Koyal said it.
There are no shortcuts for Aditya. He will go out of the way. He'll give it everything, whatever he has, to his script first.
Hi everyone, this is Hesha Chimah, and joining me here for a conversation today is Pratik Gandhi, Yami Gautam, and the director of the film Dhoom Dhaam, Risabh Seth himself. Hi guys, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Hesha.
You know, the lucky part about being a journalist is that I get to see the film way before everybody else can watch it. So I've seen it. So I'm going to try and not do like too much spoiler alert and disclaimers for the ones who are watching it. But have to say, bada maza aaya. I had a great time watching the film. It was light-hearted, it was fun, it was chill, it was easy. And what I did discover was that ki shaadi mein actually people are still finding themselves, like pretty much contrary to what one might believe, ki like, oh, you know, partners, this, that, we know everything. And I feel that's what the film is all about as well. You guys are discovering each other. But before I get into all of it, I want to know, what did Yami discover about Pratik as a person while filming this, which you probably didn't know or expect him, and vice versa? Pratik, what's that one thing that you discovered about Yami on the sets of the film that you didn't know?
On the sets of the film,
Yeah.
and even after that, what I have discovered, there are a couple of things that I've discovered. That Yami's sense of humor is, I guess, I don't know, many people know about it. So, and it is very different.
You are very funny.
It is very different. Like if somebody is not reached and if she wants to inquire, she will inquire in a way where you don't realize कि वो
पता लगा
हाँ क्या कैसे पूछ कैसे रही है तो ये यामी के अंदर एक तो कोयल, you've seen the film, right?
I have.
Okay, so you have seen the character Koel,
Yes, I have.
and everybody can easily say that Koel is far away from what Yami is.
Totally away. You can't relate. But that's not true.
यामी के अंदर कोयल है पैसिव एग्रेसिव फॉर्म में तो वो मतलब अगर आप कितने लेवल पे उसे जागृत कर सकते हैं then you see.
So I think that's what you discovered, that the character she's playing is kind of actually Yami all by herself, little bit,
हाँ,
maybe.
मतलब उनके कुछ लुक में पता चलता है कि it might go to Koel. So
No one has gotten to see the true potential of Koel inside me as Yami, and I think I would not want also. But
Mother, sister, all of that will happen of all the other people over there. Yeah, full-fledged if we get to know.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
we know Yami is composed, calm, fun also. But Koel is totally different from you. So tell me, what did you discover about Pratik on the sets of Dhoom Dhaam that you probably must have not thought?
you know, we often tend to not judge, but our observation is when you've not met someone before, your observation is basis the work that you've seen of that actor, and of course the world had seen Harshad. Again, the fans, please activate yourself. Wake up, Harshad bhai in the house. And I think that instantly everyone almost became a fan of his, and that it was a very refreshing performance and all that. So you make a backstory in your mind, more, you know, कि वही perception जो आप बात कर रहे हैं कि maybe very intense, maybe someone, because you got to be an intelligent person to have to. I think I like to believe an intelligent actor, right? To have that kind of performance, you need to have that understanding and that inbuilt intellect, which is something not just acquired, but it's just there, a part of you, right?
Yeah.
So all those things were there, but then when I started working with him, first of all, he does good mimicry himself. I don't know if anyone's told you, but he mimics really well.
Yeah.
Number one. Number two, a common love for Z horror show. And उसमें भी मुझे ऐसी डिटेल में मुझे लेकर गए उन सीन्स में, और वो जो भी prosthetics थे, it was hilarious. His take of the Z horror show, which we still love unapologetically. It's a guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
And
Good childhood memory.
Yeah, absolutely. And such a patient actor. I think he has to be one of the most patient people, actors I've come across. Not just actors, but just one of the most patient people I've come across. And of course, while he had to be on a certain diet through the film because of that
That's it.
that
I know.
that you know of, which is going to be almost iconic. I think
It
with
is.
after Harsad Bhai, I think that is going to be आपकी next film
Yeah.
के promotion में आपकी actress
Did you enjoy
co-actor
that
is going to
scene?
have
Yeah,
a
I
very tough time.
totally did. Totally
But
did.
his love, our common again love for food, and especially that desi food, what all dishes he introduced me from Gujarati cuisine, and then और हमने पूरा इस फिल्म में पूरा of course पूरे मुंबई में शूट किया है, right? और full night shoots. तो जब तक सुबह सुबह आती थी, अब यहाँ अब ऑलमोस्ट चाय पीने का टाइम है, आपने यहाँ कब्बन मस्का खाया, आपने वहाँ की वो इडली खाई, अरे so
He's a foodie.
so yeah, and such an easygoing person and pulling off such characters. अभी हम इनके आने वाली of course एक series है, उसके बारे में I can't take the liberty of talking about it, but I can't wait to watch what he's created. And again, the fans, we know what I'm talking about. But
So do I.
We've
spoken.
We can take the name. I think it's allowed. It's in the public domain.
It's there now. It's the
Yeah.
public. बोल इन्हीं को बोलने बोल देंगे.
So I think that's the beauty of being such a good actor, that you don't take yourself seriously. You take your work seriously,
Yeah.
but you don't take yourself seriously. It's a very fine line. So
Lovely. What's the most Gujju thing about you, Pratik?
The most Gujju thing about me is
You were just
Love for
talking about
food.
it.
We're again activating.
were
love
just
for
talking
food,
about
fans
love for
Dhoom Dhaam,
food
yeah.
maybe, love for food and love feeding people.
That's what's happening here, na? Imagine he had to maintain his body, but he's sitting and feeding everybody else on the set. Crazy. But you know, as a director, Rishabh, I want to ask you this. When you're shooting a project or a film, let's say, which is based on one night, and in that 24 hours of what we're visually watching, you have to sort of bring out every emotion that you want to put out there, whether it is them getting to know each other, or whether it is, you know, discovering how, you know, husband-wife relationship pans out, or the fun aspect of it, etc., etc. What were the kind of things that were going on in your head when you were actually on the set and directing? And secondly, what were you trying to get from both of them as actors, you know, for your particular vision?
So you know, Dhoom Dhaam, I was also saying this earlier, that Dhoom Dhaam is a gently layered film. You know, it's got a light-hearted sort of spine. So it's there. I mean, you've seen it. So it's something that's going to keep a little smile on your face.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's also a very mild, gentle commentary on marriage. You know, and what ends up happening, I mean, when we talk about an arranged marriage setup particularly, people meet each other and then they discover each other over a long period of time.
Yeah.
What happens in their circumstance is that the forces act in such a way that they find out a tremendous amount about each other in a very short span of time.
Yeah.
You know, so we have actually a line, if I can share it, in the film where it says that it's a lifelong discovery.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So you may find something about each other tonight, but this will continue for 50 years. I'm sure, like, I mean, both of them are married.
Yeah.
I'm sure you still discover things about, you know, he's married 16 years.
Yeah.
Actually, Yami, what about Aditya? Are you discovering new things
See,
about
he's
him?
just asking my
Right?
question
Right.
also. Yeah.
No,
That's
because I know them. I
the
know them
director.
as
that's inherently a good director, watching his
Yeah.
actors back.
He knows it, what's coming next.
no, they're also friends. Like, you know,
Yeah,
Aditya's
of course.
like obviously started as a professional relationship and then became
Right.
friends. You know, so I'm genuinely keen to know, because I discovered something about Aditya the other day, and I genuinely feel okay. I'm sorry, I'm talking about my
What was
producer.
that? What was
Yeah.
that? Why? We'd love to know.
No, I think he's a fabulously collaborative person. I think he's very, as excited about your script as he is about his own. You know, so he was showing me some clips from his upcoming film, and he was so excited about knowing what I am working on next. And you know, I know that if I was to call him and sit with him, he'll jam about the film for like the whole day with me.
Yeah.
So I like that as a quality in a filmmaker, that, you know, he's not just interested in the stories he wants to tell, he's
Yeah.
also interested what his contemporaries and friends are doing, you know. So that was a good discovery for me. So I'm not married to him though. But yeah, so I think it was so much fun to work with Pratik and Yami, because they were the biggest cheerleaders for each other's characters. you know. So I always felt that. I always felt that Yami was there making sure that Pratik is doing his best in a scene and supporting him in every way possible.
Right.
Pratik is not a selfish actor at all. In fact, there were so many times during the readings where Pratik would say, I mean, trust me, like a really good line, and Pratik was like, you know what, my character wouldn't say this. So he's not trying to usurp that line. He'll be like, this line would be better if Koyal said it. So a lot of that happened, and that is very enriching, you know, that everyone here is there to support the product rather than, you know, just keeping the spotlight on themselves.
Yeah. fair.
That
Makes
doesn't
sense.
happen on all sets.
Never happens.
I know,
Most of the
I
times
know.
it's very tricky.
Right.
I feel it takes a secure actor to sort of do that and bring
Yeah.
about that security. And I feel both of you all are that because I've met you all in individual capacities earlier and I've understood that. So that's a compliment from my side to you, and I do agree with what you've said as well. But since we mentioned Aditya only, let's just ask you only, what did you discover over time about him which you probably didn't know earlier? As a professional and in a personal capacity, in your case specifically.
I think professionally, I was. It was not very difficult to gauge the passion that he has for what he creates. There are no shortcuts for Aditya. He will go out of the way. He'll give it everything, whatever he has, to his script first. That is non-negotiable for him. There are anyone who tells him or anything. Of course, we're living in times where we have to. Your script goes through multiple stages and goes through multiple hands when it comes to studios, when it comes to actors, when it comes to, you know, so many departments and people. But he's like, no matter what, no one should say that it's a half-baked script or you know, there's any doubt even after reading a script. Nothing. Whatever my thoughts are, that's there in the script. That's the way he works, and that's the amount of tireless effort he puts in that script, that it's all there. It's there, and for him this process is very sacred. There is no other way. Just to fasten up making a film ki chalo jaldi banate hain film, it's not about that. So and he really values and understands his audience. He's like, I make film for my audience. They have to enjoy, they have to feel ki wo film picture dekhne aaye hain. They should feel that euphoria, they should feel, and at the same time giving them something new, you know, and we are the new age directors, you know, Rishabh, Aditya, they have to, they're representing today's modern cinema coming out of India, right? So that has to be something different, that has to be, it can't be something that's taking us 10, 15 years back. You have to move ahead. So that's how he thinks, and he's extremely collaborative. Anyone can have a conversation with him. Anybody can just walk up and just have a chat with him. And he'd love to take you through his thoughts and what he thinks of it. And he'll always give you an idea which probably you haven't thought of. That's one thing about him. You know, there's one thing, or there's one angle of looking at something. He'll make you look at it, same thing, but an absolutely different perspective. So I really envy all his actors, whoever is working with him, because to have a director who you can to fully rely on in terms of that he's only going to get the best out of me. So that's professionally, and personally, you do not have time. I'm seeing that time up. So it'll go on and on. So let's just say.
It's okay. Let's take one thing that you feel you discovered, and she'll wait 5 minutes.
I discovered a lot of things is just the way he has respect literally for everybody. And चलो हम शादी की बात कर रहे हैं ना, शादी की धूम धाम, दो लोग, चाहे अरेंज मैरिज है, लव मैरिज है, पर जो हमारे यहाँ पर एक काइंड ऑफ एक प्रथा बोल लीजिए, एक अनस्पोकन एक कस्टम है कि अच्छा, ऑब्वियसली बिकॉज लड़की शादी करके लड़के के घर आती है, शी अडैप्ट्स herself to, you know, a boy's family, you know, his house and everything. And he said that always, right from having a big शादी जिसका पूरा भार कहीं ना कहीं लड़की वालों पे ज़्यादा होता है, कहीं चाहे, you know, हमेशा they are trying to please everyone. तो he said I always thought that's very heartbreaking. वो मैं कभी नहीं चाहूँगा. अगर जैसी भी शादी है, जितनी भी शादी है, बिल्कुल बराबर की होगी. इनफैक्ट आप कुछ भी मत करो. It's on me. It's on me in the sense it's वो बोलते हैं ना, मेरे लिए सौभाग्य की बात है that I'm able to take care of it. So please, वो भार मैं कभी नहीं चाहूँगा. And this whole thing कि अच्छा सब कुछ लड़की को ही अडेप्ट करना है, and everything. He said, I've never believed in it. I feel you should have a home जहाँ पर सब welcome है. Please आके रहिए. He's talking about my parents.
How sweet.
And he's like, I think Yami, stay at your house, your home in Chandigarh more. Sometimes I feel that you being here. And so never thought about these things. Like my parents are yours and yours are mine first.
Yeah.
And then so yeah, that's
So
the
sweet
Dhoom Dhaam.
though. Yeah. Pratik, I have to ask you, you've done such versatile roles throughout, right? I'm sure there's something about that you do, which is acting, keeps you constantly stimulated, you know, and like, this is what I want to do. It also sort of brings about the versatility of you being yourself in different characters. Tell me and break down your process as today if something comes to you, what is it other than the script, let's say, that gets Pratik Gandhi to say yes to a project? Like, what's that stimulus?
So first,
Script, yeah.
obviously the script.
Yeah.
If I get excited about the script, then I really want to know who's directing it, because ultimately it's the director's vision that I'll have to, help come alive. And I actually have to align myself, my thought process and the emotions, the way I have seen or understood while reading the script, to match up with the director's vision. So it is very, very important that who the director is, how he or she sees the whole world and the character. And I guess pretty much that's it.
And then you're done.
Then I'm
Nothing
done.
else like excites you other than that, like probably the performance of the film, the money is involved, none of those things?
Those things,
Money not at all. Money
nobody
not.
knows. Nobody knows about those things. What will work, what will not work. Sometimes something that we feel with money involved, that it's too small a film, but it might do wonders.
Yeah.
So, I mean, these things which are absolutely out of anybody's control, and in the business of experiments, these are the outcomes, these are the byproducts, which you will never know. So, I enjoy that journey largely.
Rather than the outcome and forcing
because nobody has any control over it.
Right. You know, lastly, before I let you all go, it's very important I bring out this particular monologue that's Yami's in the film. First of all, you depicted everything that a woman wants to say, so thank you for doing that. I'm sure everybody who will watch it would know. But did you have like how many takes did it take? Did you do it in a go? Because you're doing it so well, it felt like, yaar, ye meri dil ki bhadas hai jo main nikal rahi hu is dialogue mein.
ये
Kya?
First take.
One take.
First take.
What are you saying? And it was done.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it has to be in one shot. It has to be preferably in one take. And I think the credit also goes in the writing. Again, Aditya and Ash, I think they've done a fantastic job. Rishabh, again, to work with a director who lets you be yourself, and at the same time, you can completely fall on him. Okay, if I'm just, because as actors we can overstep that line a bit. The sur can go a little here and there, but then you have someone quietly watching with headphones on and the monitor and just keeping the monitor and the headset and coming that this was nice, but what if it's that? And then that means you must try that, and and you figure. But this one we were
I remember where we were shooting this, and it was Yami came, it's like 3 pages long.
Yeah, it's quite a big one.
Obviously Yami had to do a lot of preparation back home, and she came and she sat, and this was one great thing about them. They were always on set with us. I said this in an earlier interview as well. And Yami's waiting, and I'm like, yeah, Yami, we're taking in like 15 minutes. And the lighting was just, it's actually quite a nice looking scene as well, if I can say so myself.
It is.
We just went on lighting and arranging the juniors and whatnot, and Yami sitting there because she's prepared. Now, honestly, I wish I could have presented the set to Yami sooner. I told her 20 minutes, and about 3 hours and 20 minutes later, we said, okay, Yami, now we can finally
just 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Just 2 a.m. And we were very sure that Rishabh 11 baje ye shuru kar denge. And I know it in my heart because I had one monologue. I had it in Article 370 or a Thursday, or like, but there are certain scenes in the film where you need to, although that stands true for every film, but that purity which is there in the first take, and that honesty, and that you're very natural, I think, somehow in your, at least for me, in your initial takes or first 2 takes. Uske baad thoda sa mechanical ho jata hai, unless it's a very technical shot.
Yeah, this is very emotional.
Unless again it's something, okay, let's try this variation. Okay, now maybe Pratik suggested something. you know, maybe Rishabh is like, okay, let's try. Then that's different. But in scenes like these, ना, आप अटक नहीं सकते, या आप थक नहीं सकते, क्योंकि आपको energy भी उतनी ही चाहिए, consistently चाहिए, no fumble, no distraction. पर आपको prepared ये भी होना, कोई कहीं से भी ऐसे भी कर सकता है पीछे से, there, you know, a wrong passing, some sound, some flight at 3 a.m. Because हर एक को अपना department देखना है ना, right? मुझे हम अपना काम देख रहे हैं, इनको सब कुछ देखना है, sound को, lighting, everything was great, yeah, but I'm sorry, but as a DOP, maybe I'm not okay with the way some light is falling, because that's my work. So you have to, it's not easy. So we had decided mutually 11 बजे तक thumbs up, सब ready. I'm now fully ready. हम लोग wait कर रहे हैं. Wait, मैंने कहा हो ही नहीं यार, 20 मिनट कुछ लंबा हो गया है ज़्यादा. And
no, like I remember Yami telling me a couple of times, she's saying, Rishabh, just, you know, Rishabh, I need to take now, because you know I'm in that headspace, and I don't want to lose it. I don't want to lose it. और मैं जाकर अपने DOP से लड़ रहा हूँ ऐसे, यार जल्दी कर, you know, like come on man, she's got 3 pages of lines to tell in one take.
Yeah.
But वो, see, I mean, the thing is now we have to be accommodating. They've been in the business long enough to know you have to accommodate all departments. सबको साथ में लेकर चलना है. And I really think Yami's hit a sixer in that scene. Like, I mean, you know, she finished and everyone just clapped organically. It was a very filmy moment. You know, बहुत filmy
very
moment
रंगीला filmy.
But everyone just instinctively started clapping.
Yeah, but that scene is the vibe.
Yeah,
it definitely is the vibe, because she's just like, next time if I have to say something to anybody, I'm like, dekho. All my emotions.
Now we also have a monologue.
Yeah, now we also have a monologue. Yeah, I don't know. Women also have one, which Yami has given us. But guys, thank you so much for your time. We're a little short on it, but I had so much to talk about as well. Probably sometime soon.
Absolutely.
But Dhoom Dhaam was fun to watch. I'm sure when everybody gets to watch it, they'll enjoy it too. So thank you for doing that right at the start of the year, because we need that fun element going on.
Oh, super.
Thank you so much for your
Music
time.
to our ears. Thank you so
you.
much.
Thank you very much.